football to see the game so flowing back and forth. It was like a basketball game in the end, back and forth, box to box. It was fantastic, and I think in the end Bayern Munich they needed that little bit of luck to get the ball over the line to finish the game off, but didn't come about.
Well, when we talk about bloomers and defensive errors, I mean, you have to feel a little bit sorry for the Bayern Munich goalkeeper, because that was an appalling error, Stephen.
Yeah, it was, and I've been there myself when, you know, you lose your footing at such a vital moment, and it's a cruel way to lose a football match. You know, if this is Neuer, maybe he just hammers it down the field 70, 80 yards and clears his line out, but at such a critical time in the game, you've got to feel for him.
You think he was going to go with his hands and suddenly thought, oh, it's a back pass and I'll go on my feet, and got himself in a pickle?
I do think he did that.
Yeah.
I think that's what he did. As Stephen said, with retrospect, you just look to kick it down the field, but I think he goes with his hands. The last minute change of mind, but it was too late, and I can only feel sorry for him. That's terrible for him.
Yeah, I mean, it can happen to anyone. But Bayern Munich came back. James, who went so close in the first half, got a goal for his club, against his club, because he's on loan, of course, for 2 years.
Well, he was very, very good tonight. I think in general play, it was productive throughout the game. Again, we're looking at fullbacks that don't close down. They get their crosses in, which they did all night. But James' reaction is much better than all the Real Madrid defenders' reaction. He gets on that second one really quickly and slots it through the legs and respects his parent club when he scores.
Yeah, he doesn't celebrate, but you would think inwardly he's got a point to prove, hasn't he, against Real Madrid have let him go.
He'll have so much excitement inside. But the 2-year loan that they've agreed with Bayern Munich nearly come back to haunt him, because he was so close to getting another goal as well.
It's a strange deal, that, isn't it, for a player of that kind of level?
Surely you've got to stop that, you know, from playing against you. Because it could have come back and knocked him out to the European Cup.
Sort of clause in the contract or something. But, I mean, how many chances? A multitude of chances, didn't he?
20 chances in a semi-final in the away leg. I mean, that's nightmarish in terms of when the game's finished now, when they look back and evaluate the game. And there's too many times at this point in the game where they got into the final third, and it was just decision-making, a little bit of luck here and there. Hummels with a fantastic run. Lewandowski, I think he'll be one of the most disappointed players in the red shirt tonight. Over the 2 legs, he's probably had about 5 or 6 very good chances, and he hasn't been able to put one in the back of the net.
And sometimes you'll be remembered for the giant occasions, the big matches, if you can't deliver. And they've had so many possibilities to score.
I mean, they do stick in the mind, these games. We're all watching it. They're high level, and they're the moments that sometimes make the difference in how people perceive you in greatness, which, you know, someone like Cristiano does pretty much year in, year out, or not now. I still think Lewandowski is obviously a great player, and he's had 2 off nights to a degree where it hasn't fallen for him, or for whatever reason. He keeps getting in there, to give him credit. But throughout the team there today, all these chances, good chances toward the end there for Hummels as a centre-half to get ahead of there. This chance of decision-making there when you're on the ball in the box.
Good goalkeeping there.
Good fast goalkeeper, to be honest.
He came big, Keyless Navas.
Yeah.
Certainly in the second half. You know, we've criticised him in the first leg for the mistake, but he came big tonight.
Yeah, disappointment for Bayern Munich, but look at that, the possession there. Total attempts 20. Over the 2 legs, Bayern had 33 efforts at goal against Real Madrid 16. But there's one number that matters, isn't there?
Yeah, of course, and they're the regrets they're going to have to live with. But they certainly created enough to go through into the final over both legs.
Yeah. Do you think we're looking a little bit at the end of an era of Real Madrid, though? I mean, they've been poor in the La Liga this season, compared to in recent seasons. They've got away with it, we have to say, against Juventus. Yeah. And certainly in this ties, are we looking at a kind of team coming towards the end of its...
Yeah, I think that time always comes for a team, and I think the quarter-final and now the semi-final, they've limped over the line. And like Frank said earlier, can they do that? Can they carry that luck again into the final and do the same there? Yes, they've had a great few years, but there is a time when it comes to an end. But this team, they've got some very experienced players coming to the ends of their careers. And there's going to be a reshuffling of the pack. There's a transition now that's got to happen, introducing young players, Asensio and Lucas Vasquez. There are 2 young boys coming through the youth system into the first team. But it's a difficult thing to do, but that's the task of a top manager. Zidane's got to do that. That's
right. Looking at it, I mean, I've always asked you this question, but Liverpool, should they go through, which they should, but this season, who knows? If they go through, they'd fancy their chances, wouldn't they? They'd have opportunities to score, especially with that front 3.
Yeah, I think they will. I mean, we kept highlighting areas around fullbacks there today and around centre-halves and inside those fullbacks, and we saw it time and time again in both of these legs. And as we know very well, this is Liverpool's real strength, to get in these areas. If you start imagining players like Mo Salah, Mane, even the fullbacks in terms of Robertson, overlapping now. It's where Liverpool is so strong. Now, if Real Madrid give them those chances, then they can certainly hurt them. On the flip side, we're talking about Real Madrid being lucky. We know what great players they've got.
Yeah,
and if they turn up on a big occasion, then they can beat anyone themselves.
Yeah.
That's why we could have potentially such a great game.
I think a big
they
thing.
can't change their play, though, can they? Can't suddenly have fullbacks that play like fullbacks.
Yeah, but I think a big thing for Real Madrid, if they go into that game and play 4-4-2 the way they did today, I think they'll get picked apart and destroyed in the final. I don't see them doing that. I see them playing the three in midfield and making sure they don't get outnumbered in that area, because, again, winning the control in the middle of the park in these big games is a vital area where you get control and you can start picking your punches in a game and winning games. And today the 4-4-2 system was something I thought had really played into the hands of this Bayern Munich team, who controlled the midfield with Thiago and Tolisso.
If you think about the amount of chances they've, let Bayern have over the two legs, I can't see Liverpool being that wasteful. I think Liverpool are more clinical than Bayern Munich, and if them chances come about in a final, I think they could really hurt them.
We should remind ourselves not to get ahead of ourselves, but they've got it to do tomorrow. Looking forward to that one. Still to come before we finish at 10:15. We'll look forward to a huge again. Benzema with both the goals, the second gifted by the goalkeeper's extraordinary error, and with T-shirt saying we're chasing the 13th Champions League / European Cup title, and Ronaldo will play in yet another Champions League final. Attention now turns to Rome tomorrow, and Liverpool defending their 5-2 lead against Roma. Seb Hutchinson reports.